The last thing that you want to do at this age, somewhere in your 40s, is to go out and ruin your life, lose everything that you've got, and then have to start all over again. I remember when these same kind of feelings hit me. I was in my 40s, and I began having these thoughts. Well, Ronnie, this is it. This is your life. I've reached what I am to become. This is what I'll be doing. All those dreams that I had back in my 20s of what I would do and what I would be able to accomplish with my life, well, they were exactly that, just dreams. And there in my 40s is when I began to realize that some of my dreams that I had in my 20s would never be realized. My wife told me on one occasion, she said, Ronnie, if you want to survive a midlife crisis, there better not be a crisis in our house. Now, this is when the reality of life begins to set in. I mean, you're struggling with a mortgage, you've hit a glass ceiling at work, you and your spouse may be so busy with conflicting schedules or work schedules that you're passing each other in the hallway like ships in the night. Your kids are teenagers now. You might even have an angry teenager in the house. And I mean, it really is like a pressure kettle that begins to build up. But I want to tell you something. If you begin to experience those kind of symptoms in your 40s, this can be one of the most important moments of your life. Instead of letting it drag you down, you can flip it over and turn it into something positive. And here's what I did. Instead of seeing these kind of emotions as a midlife crisis, I viewed it as a midlife awakening. Big difference. Something quietly shifted in me, and I started asking myself, Ronnie, are you really spending your life the way that you want right now? Is my work, even though I loved it, is my work really worth the amount of energy that it's taking away from me? And Ronnie, what really matters most to you in life right now at 40 years old? This isn't a crisis. You know what it is? It's clarity. You begin to see things differently. So instead of having a freak out and ruining my life, I began to rearrange my priorities. Instead of just passively coasting along, just taking what the man dished out, I took control of my life. I focused all of my energies into getting myself out of debt and paying off the mortgage, improving my health and my fitness, and maybe even most importantly, I began to develop hobbies and interests outside of work. I began to develop a life outside of work life. Essentially, I reprogrammed myself so that I could have the life that I've always wanted and not be stuck on the job all the way to the end of my life. I wanted to find a way to get out. And I'm glad that I did these things because my wife and I, we held it all together. And eventually we were able to retire. We retired together. We left full-time work and we escaped the rat race. And right now, me and her are having the time of our life. The kids are grown, they're out of the house, we're empty nesters. We've been retired for 4 years. Everything's paid for, and we are just absolutely having the time of our life. So if you're in a midlife crisis yourself, or you're beginning to feel some of those symptoms, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? This is just a normal transition of life. There's nothing wrong with you if you're feeling those things. Just don't let it wreck your life. Instead, take control and focus on your future self, and you'll get there. And this leads me to number 3. Life experiences become your greatest treasures. Ask someone in their 60s what they remember most looking back over their life. And it's not promotions, it's not pay raises, and it's not professional perks. It's the family trips, the family gatherings, simple moments, and maybe even most importantly of all, laughter. Just the ability to laugh, have fun, and enjoy yourself. At 40 years old, these kind of experiences feel optional to you because you feel like you've got time for them later. But in your 60s, they're priceless.